Parker is investing his time in the wrong areas. Does he want publicity? Is it a PR stunt? It's not about worrying how we fight. I fought Vladimir Klitschko too early, but the opportunity came and we managed to come together with one of the all-time greats. We put on a show with no complaints. So what is so difficult about fighting this little kid who is doing press conferences? It's very unprofessional of them. The heavyweight championship is such a respected title to have, but stuff like that takes away from the creme de la creme of the title. I think I know what I have to do with Wilder. Parker, I don't disregard him, but I think I'd smack Parker around the ring no problem. Wilder, I'd knock Wilder out. It would take a bit of time, but I'd definitely knock him out. Parker would take a bit more of a pasting, but I'd get to him. Wilder, I'd knock him out with one shot. Not like I'd go in there and bang, but when I catch Wilder, I'd definitely knock him out. Those are the words of Anthony Joshua. He's in very bullish mood, talking about unification fights with his two compadres in the heavyweight division, his two contemporaries, his two rivals, should I say. Joseph Parker, the WBO champion, and Deontay Wilder, the WBC champion. I like the bullishness from Anthony Joshua. He is a fighter at the end of the day. All this PC stuff that people criticize him for, now they're criticizing him for being bullish. It's like, he's damned if he does and he's damned if he don't. Now, I'm putting the whole racist comments to Eddie Chambers stuff aside for 1 second. I'm just talking about him coming out and calling out other fighters and saying he's going to knock out this guy and that guy. That kind of thing I like. So he's saying it here. In terms of what he says about Wilder, he thinks it'd take him a little bit of time, but he thinks he'd smack Parker around the ring. I think that shows that he has an understanding of what kind of fight both of those fights are, even though he's talking about them in quite simplistic terms. I think he understands what kind of fights they are, in the sense that I believe the Wilder fight will be quite cagey for a few rounds. Wilder has the height and reach, the foot speed, and the evasive ability to keep himself out of trouble for a while. And he's also fairly low volume when he fights big, tall guys like himself. We've seen that against Gerald Washington. We also saw it earlier on in his career against Kelvin Price. And I think that Anthony Joshua is aware of that. So he seems to be aware that the Wilder fight would probably be a bit cagey for a few rounds, and it would take him a while to actually maneuver Wilder into position to be able to lower the boom and start landing the big shots. With Joseph Parker, based on what Joshua has said there, he seems to believe that Parker is more durable, but he's also more hittable than Wilder. And I also believe that's probably true as well. Parker, I think, maybe is more durable, but less elusive, definitely less elusive and easier to hit. He don't have the height and reach, so on and so forth. So you expect Joshua to look at things in these kind of terms, in the sense that he's looking at how he can get to those guys, and he believes that he will get to those guys. But at the same time, from a neutral point of view, from an analytical point of view, I'm looking at it like, okay, well, as much as he understands how those fights are likely to play out in terms of Wilder being cagey, Parker being a bit more easy to hit, he also has to factor in the strengths of both of those fighters. The fact that Wilder is very dangerous from long range, he's much faster at long range than Anthony Joshua is. Joseph Parker is not as effective at long range, probably even as Joshua is, but at close and short range, he's much faster than Anthony Joshua. May not be as physically strong, but very fast and much more fluid than Joshua is too. Perhaps he might be able to exploit some of that stiffness that Anthony Joshua has, especially with this extra weight on Joshua's body. So yeah, it's interesting that Joshua at least has some perspective on how the fights are likely to go. But at the same time, is he thinking about the dangers? Drop your comments in the comment section below and let me know how you think. Also, let me know what you think about Joshua all of a sudden being bullish over the past few weeks and months. Is this something that you like, or would you prefer him to go back to his whole politically correct, squeaky clean, choir boy type demeanor? Even if it's fake or not, would you prefer it? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, people. It's happening, I'm out.